if you watch the right, so now anyhow about any of these companies, they were just found on Instagram, decided to check them out. So I'm able to put them in a spreadsheet and that as reference. Okay, that's the chart that we're looking at on TradingView. And hold on 1 second. I just put a keep these videos as I can just so much. Okay. Let's take years old. Okay, so I have birth chart pulled up as well, and it looks like the house for Cal is Capricorn because it's the second house of you don't know. I'm gonna just relax. I can't even talk. I'm trying to go so fast. I'm just gonna reiterate this. If you're not familiar with birth charts already, go study that before getting into this, just so that you know what's going on. Okay, so um, I am focused on the money houses. This is where the money comes in, and this is the debt, other money, and we're gonna focus on this too because I mean it has other things too, but we're looking at and then we also gonna focus on the sixth house of work and the 10th house of career. But what I really want to focus on is the second house. That's what I care about the most because I know that money when I did. So Capricorn, um, and then this one is a serious one. So this person, this is based off of a company, but I'm saying like if this was a person, then this person wanna invest when the moon is in Scorpio, and then hold until they see some change in Capricorn. You should see growth and make a profit. And then with this Chiron being here specifically, what I do is I would take my money out before the moon hit that. But I don't even know that would take. It could go down a little bit, it could go down a lot. Either way, I'm not trying to see this as like a negative type of thing, but it's healer, you know, take that for what you think applies to it. But for me personally, I would take that out because I feel like I wouldn't see very much growth there. Now I can deep, but I'm gonna keep it light. Um, I would say I would see growth here in the sixth house around that Mars because that's movement. So the whole past this, then I would probably get out here. But then there's a part of fortune right here. Yeah, okay. Because there's a part of that 10-degree Capricorn, then I would literally take my money out here at 10 degrees in Capricorn and like you know what I'm saying? That's a sweet spot. That's a sweet spot for this one here. Okay, so let me digress. Those who understood that, those who didn't, I'm like I'm gonna break it down a little bit. Okay, so the reason why we want to look at the second house because that's money coming in, receiving. That's a Taurus house, and then the sixth house of work. I mentioned that because I obviously like that's where I have some kind of money coming in from work, and then this does hit 20 degrees Scorpio. So I'd also look at the 8th house. And what I see that's been here is like 6 degrees back to that 6th house. And then you see 14 degrees to that 2nd house. So best bet to just pull that out when either I would say 10 degrees or 14 degrees. You can't, I feel like you can really lose with that. So if anybody has a chart that looks similar to this, um, go ahead and test it out and let me know how it works for you. Every time moon goes into Scorpio, invest, and the moon into Capricorn, try down out, and then tell me what happens. Tell me if it works for you. Okay, so as I'm reading this, I I do go through all the money houses, and honestly, I really just want to work the 2nd house because that's like, yeah, we're gonna focus on that 2nd house. And then you can go into maybe in like a video after I go through all these. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do yet. I just know that I have to get started. That's all. Okay, so um, how is this? How I kind of did go over this. How each of these degrees kind of hit, but I can totally. Oh my God, I didn't even put my timer on. I didn't see something. First time around, so just work with. We'll eventually get better at this. How long have I been talking? Okay, 7 minutes. So that's essentially how that works. I hope that makes sense, but if it doesn't, um, please, please. I did make a note that if you have stocks, if you have stocks or crypto highly aspected in your chart, meaning if you have like a Leo 5th house or something of that sort, and this is like something that's fun for you, like it's something that's like a main focus or something that's a hobby you're obsessed with, then more than likely you can, buy this and make money. Okay. And so that wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna be. But you know what? I'm gonna go and plan it. So this video basically covers the money and the planets. I'm gonna fit the planets in here. Okay. So the degrees that are most important here are Taurus degrees because that's resources, that's money. Scorpio degrees because that's investments in stocks. Okay, so that would be the 2nd house again here, right? The resources and money that's coming in, and then the 8th house it's investment stocks. So yeah, these 2 houses we want to focus on. Okay, we've touched on the degrees, but let me get really, really specific. So the Taurus degrees are 2, 14, 26. Taurus degrees are 2, 14, and 26. The Scorpio degrees are 8 and 20. 8 and 20. And then, of course, if you want to check like your work houses or your career houses for Virgo, that's 6 degrees and 18 degrees. And then Capricorn, that's 10 degrees and 2 degrees. Okay. And then the main thing that we want to focus on in the chart, you heard me saying this earlier in the video and likely in the last video, is that you want to follow the moon, right? So every time the moon hits that 2nd house of Capricorn, that's when you're going to see like an influx, especially on this chart. So I kind of want to dive a little bit deeper into this chart and show it to you on TradingView. And we're just going to up a chart and see how it correlates. I think that's going to be really fun. But okay, so anytime the sun is Capricorn, so Capricorn season, um, depending on how you invested, I want to say their year or years prior, you'll see that growth. But there is a Chiron there in this particular chart here, so it's going to be interesting to see how it could rise fall. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the Scorpio moon, each Scorpio moon chart, and I'm going to see what the chart is doing there. Each month, I'll probably look at the entire year, so I don't know how long that video is going to be, but it is going to be separate from this one. So I want to dive a little deeper. And then we also want the sun because, oh, I just said that. We also want to focus on the sun and the moon because they're both luminaries, and when that house is being illuminated, that's when you can see the most growth or influx in anything. Now, we also want to focus on Venus because obviously Venus rules money. Jupiter can be beneficial to most zodiac signs, but not Cancer. It's actually it causes a little hell. I'm not gonna lie, it causes a little hell. But Jupiter is expansion, so if you do have that in your second house, you will likely see growth in your resources or your money. And if it is in the eighth houses, you can see growth in your investments, stocks, or you can see a huge loss. It depends. It depends on where you're at in your vibration. Um, and then of course, as you're more into trying to kind of find out timing of like work or like messages related to work or your a corporation or something like that, you want to focus on Mercury for communication and kind of what that sign or that degree hits in your chart is when you can hear some information regarding a job or something like that. Okay, and then part of fortune is only if you want to play with this. I have a bit too much. Um, I did notice. I'm still studying part of fortune, personally. So I did notice something, but I'm gonna have to study it again for the next year. It's gonna take me a little while to kind of to pin that one down before I go into it. But if you are aware of what that is, I would suggest you utilize that as well. And then Vertex, again, this is optional. This is just like a huge change that could happen in your life. Actually, I on that because there is a Vertex here in eighth house, so that is very, very interesting. Massive change there. And honestly, it's probably an abundant change. Excuse me, it's probably an abundant change because it's at 14 degrees in resources, so there's probably going to be some kind of like not biggest, it's not like the higher degree of 6, but it's going to be a change in resources coming in there. And then you also have to look at the Jupiter on that to see like, where's Venus? Right there, 0 degree. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. This is here at 0 degrees Taurus. So, what a beautiful vertex. If this was a person, they would probably problem my job. And then we got 14 degrees there at the vertex and the north node. Never have a problem finding a job. Never. Okay. Um, I am going to go ahead and stop the video there since we have touched on the money houses, the degrees, and the planets. If you have any questions that I can answer for you, just let me know down below in another video. But if nothing else, we'll stop there, and then the next video we will start to get into the analysis process a little bit further. We kind of did touch on it a bit with the luminaries and the planets when the degrees are hitting yours, but we're gonna go into it on TradingView, and we'll just bounce back between the birth chart and the stock chart. And then after we get through that, on likely another video, we'll get into a personal birth chart and see if we can find any money for this person in stocks. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you for watching this video. Apologies if it is laggy. Oh gosh, this video is way longer than I thought. Okay.